Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Anniversary and our Night Elf Priest. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. We are currently entering at Deadwind Pass because we are going to enter the Swamp of Sorrows for the first time. The Swamp of Sorrows is one of those zones, particularly for the Alliance, that just kind of has a bunch of random quests scattered about. There's no real, questing hub specific to the Alliance. The Horde do get stonered in the south here. So we're going to look to try to complete Mazin's Behest by grabbing Khadgar's Essays on Dimensional Convergence. And I gotta make sure I'm going in the right direction. Yeah, I think we're okay here. So we'll be trying to grab that today, and then we'll pick up the random quests kind of dotted along the map. One of these quests, at least one of them, is going to be an escort, I think. But we'll be sure to pick up the Dranithis crystals from Magtor first, I think, before we start heading further east. We picked up our other ranks of Mind Flay at the end of the last episode, of course. And we are now Shadow. We'll be swapping between Shadow and Holy as we quest, just to see how each one plays out, see which ones we prefer. But it's nice to have Holy at the very least for dungeons. Let's avoid this scout here if we can. Don't feel like getting flagged for PvP right now. So this encroaching wildlife quest, let's actually try to pick this one up first if we can. Just because we should be able to complete it throughout the zone regardless of where we're at. We'll see what our competition looks like. Swamp of Sorrows is a pretty popular zone for players to farm in, particularly on the green dragon whelps that you can find here in the southwestern corner. I think they show up in other areas too. They drop scales that can be worth quite a bit, and some other stuff. And I think it's one of the animals in general in the middle of the zone are some of the best to grind on for just pure vendor gold. Especially if you have skinning, of course. We'll speak with Watcher Biggs here. Pick up another quest. Then we'll head north to grab the other one, killing some wildlife along the way. My caravan was destined for the eastern coast, but we did not reach our goal. Lost Ones attacked us, killing guards and dashing supplies. I alone survived their assault. I have sworn to protect what supplies remain, but wild creatures skulk near. Please help me defend my camp from the beasts. Alright, so not an actual defense quest, I think it's just a simple kill quest. And this is going to be a great test for Shadow specifically. We've gone over some of the differences between Shadow and Holy, like the Smite build. And Shadow in particular should be better suited for a grind, as far as being more efficient. Yeah, so we'll kill whatever we can find on the way up to that additional quest up north. Right now I feel like everything's dead at the moment. I'm going to be killing some spiders here. Mind Flay a couple times. Oh, that reminds me before I forget too, there is a Shadow Wand. I think it's called the Black Bone Wand or something, that we can pick up from the wand vendor over in Stormwind. We are going to want that if we're going to continue to play Shadow, as it deals shadow damage. And it, I believe it's affected by like our Shadow Weaving debuff that we place on targets whenever we cast a Shadow spell. I think its damage might also be increased by stuff like Darkness, maybe even Shadow Form itself. And we're about to hit level 41, so we'll be able to purchase that. Let's try using Vampiric Embrace instead of the shield. I just want to see like how much Shadow Word Pain would heal. It's actually like quite a lot. I mean, I know this Swamp Jaguar is 4 levels lower than us, so that definitely helps, but that's actually quite a bit just from Shadow Word Pain by itself. I'm actually a little bit surprised. Man, Shadow is so cool. Just visually, one of the most visually appealing classes in Classic in particular. It's pretty good to look at in retail too. But I don't know, in Classic, it's there's not a lot of crazy, spell effects and whatnot going around. Everything looks pretty outdated by today's standards. Shadow Priest really has a lot of cool stuff going for it. The nice part about farming for this quest too is this white spider meat. We just literally picked up the recipe for the spider sausage while we were back in Stormwind. So it was actually kind of perfect timing that we ended up picking that up. Yeah, so far, Shadow feels pretty smooth. We'll have to see how it does on some higher level targets as well at some point. Stuff that's a bit closer to our level, just so we can properly gauge how efficient it really is. Like right now, we're killing targets with half of our Shadow Word Pain duration still up, which isn't really ideal. Kind of want that full duration to be doing its thing. We have reached the harborage. Some Draenei exiles, some friendly lost ones. Don't think there's a vendor here. Oh, there is. It's a leather worker though. Nothing too interesting. Draenei crystals. The lost ones who live in the fallow sanctuary look as we look, but they are monsters, driven mad by the rigors of our journey to Azeroth. Once our brethren, they now live in the fallow sanctuary to the east, catching or killing any who wander near. And they have stolen something sacred to us, Draenei crystals. We lack the force to enter the fallow sanctuary and reclaim our stolen Draenei from among their huts and campfires. But without those crystals, we too may lose our way. And we'll look to collect some of those. And yeah, let's push to the east. Yeah, looks like the Tangled Horrors are what we need for Khadgar's essay, and we could find some of those as well over in that direction. that we're really missing too right now, as Shadow is wand specialization. We are operating without it currently, so that's probably why our damage feels somewhat similar to what we were dealing with the discipline spec. So I suspect that'll go up a bit, and it'll make more sense to have some more wanding involved on each of these pulls that we do. And the Shadow Wand, of course, will help on top of that. So far, comparing Shadow to Holy, I do like that Holy is very bursty. That aspect of it has certainly been fun, but I just love how we just melt enemies with Mind Flay and Shadow Word Pain going at the same time. It also has a very satisfying feeling. I bet it's even more satisfying in a PvP setting as well for Shadow Priests, which I believe they're pretty good. Going the Star Shards. Yeah, Star Shards feel so much more clunky, even though it's probably dealing like the same amount of damage as a Mind Flay would, or a couple of Mind Flays. Pulled some stuff. Kill this Jaguar real quick. Let's get this up. Hit with the disease, we can cleanse that off of ourselves. Oh. Shaman helped us out there. I don't think we necessarily needed it, but we'll take it. Interesting. You picked up Naboru's Cudgel, which starts Naboru the Cudgel. But it doesn't? Did we actually pick up a quest? I mean, this is just like a gray item. Maybe it's something that like activates later, potentially. Like if we fulfill like a certain requirement or something. Because yeah, we definitely do not have a quest. Yeah, interesting. All right. Maybe that'll matter later. Oh no, we can click on it. It's a level 29 quest, maybe that's why. No, but it's yellow to us. That's really interesting. Because when you hover over this, normally it does say requires level 29 at the bottom. But normally, like, you don't see like a gray item, because like I'm pretty sure we could vendor this by accident. Normally it says like click to start the quest or something of that sort. So a little weird, but all right. It's another quest that we can turn in, which is really nice. I'm trying to figure out where we are right now. We'll keep an eye out for these swamp walkers. Got one over here. Kill some of these. See if we get lucky with the essay. I don't remember ever doing this quest. Mazin's behest. So I'm really interested to see where this one goes. And if whatever this essay that we loot is interactable in some way. Make sure we're back in shadow form. We got kicked out for some reason. Oh, was it because of abolished disease maybe? Oh, look at that. Okay. So abolish a disease, worth noting, will kick us out of shadow form. That is good to know. Crazy, we got these Stonard explorers like all over the place. And if you attack them, they'll definitely flag you for PvP. So it makes things a little bit awkward in this area. But yeah, is it just me, or are we like really melting these swamp walkers? They're level 39, so they're around our level. I feel like we were having a more difficult time with Holy. Who knows, maybe they're just weak to shadow damage or something. It's always a possibility. Or, I don't know, maybe Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer is actually putting in some work right now. It doesn't really, all we get from this is 10% spell crit, but that really only affects Mind Blast, I think. So like I have to imagine it's not doing like that much for us. We've made it to the Fallow Sanctuary, so now we're going to be picking up these crystals. I do enjoy how easy they are to spot, for sure. They are very conspicuous. Alright, we've got 3 more crystals to pick up. This might get a little dicey. And we should be approaching the escort quest as well, which I guess we'll just complete. It's a decently long one if I'm not mistaken. It takes us pretty far. We don't really have another reason to necessarily be on this side of the map, so I'm fine with traveling back westward. Named lost one here on Geku. Although he might be a follow-up to one of these other quests that we completed. That is our last crystal. Let's go ahead and pick up this escort. Continue to kill stuff along the way to try to clear some of these enemies out. See anybody here? There's a chest. Nothing special inside. Yeah, so the escort might already be in progress, unfortunately. It's a shame. It's I think it's a decently easy one, if I remember correctly. But not the end of the world. I don't think it leads into anything particularly important or interesting. So we'll just simply head back to the west and kill all of these bog elementals that we can find. And once we get closer to our to Magtor, we'll finish off the beasts that we need. We can go further west if we need more bog elementals, which I'm sure we will. This Khadgar's essay seems to be a pretty low drop rate, which I would expect say yet. I'm back on one of the main roads, though, the northern road. I did not want to deal with you. Looks like we're going to be flagged for another 5 minutes or so. Which is unfortunate because we definitely saw some higher level Horde players not long ago. We may have to deal with. And by deal with, I mean not deal with. Probably just fall over and die. Because they were level 60. Hopefully it doesn't come to that today. Back at the back to killing jaguars and spiders and whatnot. Still need 4 more jaguars, including this one, 3 more spiders, maybe like 1 or 2 more crocolisks. Be our last spider. Picked up 6 spider meat in the process. That's enough to make 3 sausages, I think. If these aren't too expensive, we'll just end up buying some of these too. It'll take quite a while to farm them, I think, if we were to go down that route. Crocolisks are done. And this is our last jaguar. Very nice. Let's turn in our quests with Magtor first. Then I guess we'll head over to this top left corner here of the map. Take on some tangled horrors over there. Thank you, Olindria. We are in your debt. You have gained the weapon of the dreaded Noboru. Is he then dead? This is a joyous day for the harborage. Noboru and his gang were a terror to us, wandering the swamps and killing any Draenei who crossed his path. He was a direct threat to our survival, and we did not have the strength to face him. We are fortunate to have a friend in you, Olindria. That is where the quest line ends for the harborage. I feel like in a Classic Plus experience, this whole area could probably be expanded on quite a bit. This is the only area in the entire game, I think, that has these lost ones, these shriveled up Draenei. I'm sure their story could be expanded upon quite a bit. Alright, but level 41, we are going into the discipline tree, of course, and let's work towards getting our wand specialization back. And let's work towards picking up that essay. Hoping to see a lot more bog elementals in this section of the map that we're going towards. Hopefully it's not farmed up by too many other people for any reason. I'm not sure what these bog elementals would drop that would make it worth somebody's time outside of the quests associated with them. The Misty Valley. It's a cool name, cool little spot. It's kind of like this aura around this place. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more elementals here. This should do nicely. Seen these scattered crates before. Lost supplies. Does this start a quest? Interesting. This barrel is small yet sturdy. Its seams are sealed with a yellow pungent wax. Stamped on the bottom of the barrel are the words Quartermaster Lungert's, Netherguard Keep. No experience reward, but we get a box of supplies for turning this in at Netherguard Keep. Okay, we can check that out for sure. We'll get there eventually. Who knows if we have the time, maybe even today. Just because that is kind of the... Apart from... I guess we're pretty close to Darkshire. I was going to say, like, Netherguard Keep is... typically another way for Alliance players to access the swamp. Darkshire's right there, though. I mean, it's... You don't have too many reasons to navigate to the eastern side of the map anyway. Unless you're going to the Sunken Temple, I guess. But I don't really know if it'd be that much of a difference to run to the Sunken Temple from Netherguard Keep versus Darkshire. It's probably pretty similar. Not the essay, but a enchanting formula. Enchant Gloves Advanced Herbalism. Ooh. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting. I'm sure somebody will purchase that for sure. You know, oddly enough, I haven't seen any herbs. And it looks like we didn't have find herbs up and running. Maybe that's because of dual spec. We didn't die recently, did we? I don't think so. I wonder why that wasn't up and running. I know sometimes just because this is just how they, you know, the World of Warcraft UI is sometimes, that this find herbs bubble. I think it's the same for minerals as well for mining. It sometimes just isn't there, even though, like, it is, like it should be. I just assumed it was from that, but no, I guess maybe it was because of dual spec or something. Hopefully it doesn't like deactivate itself every single time that we switch specs. That might get a little annoying. Dang. I think we've killed every elemental here, pretty much. I don't know what's in the back of this cave. Must be some ogres. Looks very ogre-y on the outside. I can see some players, some higher level players swinging by. Maybe that's just to look for some herbs or some mining nodes. Perhaps the Swamp of Sorrows is a decent farming spot. Well, we've picked up some herbs from these guys already. This Fade Leaf in particular is very useful. Mire Lord. Well, I guess maybe this is infested with elementals as well. Not a very deep cave. Well, let's go back towards the entrance. Hopefully we can find some more. Just one of those quests. You never know how long it's going to take. It's starting to come back slowly. Seems to be like the perfect amount of them for us to continuously farm them. I guess as long as we're the only ones here. I also wonder if it's one of those situations where like maybe there's a higher chance for it to drop off of a higher level, you know, bog elemental, but like all of these, this Misty Valley spot has quite the variety. It's got like 3 or 4 different kinds, I feel like, that we've seen. So I feel like that wouldn't really matter too much. It's just a scroll of strength. Not particularly helpful. Got some gold thorn though. Getting a decent amount of experience from this too. It's been a pretty decent grind. Took a look at Wowhead real quick just to make sure I wasn't gonna go absolutely crazy for this. And yeah, people are reporting quite a bit of a grind. And some of these comments are from 2007 though. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh, of course, as we start talking about it, yeah, all it took was us for us to look at it on Wowhead for it to drop. Yeah, some people have talked about 40 to 50 kills. Some are saying 200. That's quite the discrepancy, but in either case, it is now in our possession, which is great. We're going to go ahead and turn in Encroaching Wildlife next. Oh, it looks like we actually have to turn in the document to Netherguard Keep anyway, so that's perfect. We'll head over to Netherguard Keep. Oh, that actually worked out perfect from a pathing standpoint too. But yeah, we can grab that flight path, we can check, you know, the quartermaster and whatnot. The sounds of animals are now faint, more distant. Thank you, Alindria. Now let's hope they don't return. I was stunned during the attack by the Lost Ones, but before my sight went black, I spied one of our wagons being dragged to the Fallow Sanctuary, the Lost One village to the north. A caravan chest with valuable reagents was in that wagon, reagents vital to the studies of the wizards of Netherguard Keep. Find the chest and get those reagents, Alindria. Get them and bring them to me. Sure. We won't do that today, but that plus the fact that it's right next to the escort quest, those are two good reasons to return to the Swamp of Sorrows later. Apart from, maybe doing Sunken Temple at some point, of course. So that sounds like a good plan to me. Let us enter the Blasted Lands for the first time now. Hopefully we don't get killed. Well, you know what? Maybe we can handle some of this stuff. Some of the animals and whatnot in the Blasted Lands now. Take a look. Most of them are dead most of the time anyway. As many players will be, farming them for the materials that can be converted into some pretty significant raid consumables, as I've learned with my other characters. Right now on Anniversary, if you were to do some gold farming right now, I know it's pretty late, but if you were to do some farming now, farming here in the Blasted Lands is actually a pretty good bet. Get some of those materials, throw them on the auction house. Luckily, Netherguard Keep is a very short run away. And I guess I'm not going to scope out the place too much, I guess. We're going to be coming back here at some point. Just kind of a quick scan on the outside. Yeah, the armor crafter doesn't really have anything interesting. Not really seeing a whole lot of other vendors on the outside. So they might be inside the keeps or whatever. Let's get these quests turned in. Turn in Mazin's Behest first.
What can I do for you? Be careful.
Ah, most splendid.
Light bless you.
Actually, let me, Okay, you can actually review the document.
King's honor.
Just wanted to make sure.
Be careful.
Ah, most splendid. For some time, I had feared my request for Khadgar's essays on dimensional convergence had been overlooked by Master Mazin of the Academy of Arcane Arts and Sciences. He must be bogged down with requests considering the many strange happenings going on. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to begin my research at once. To finally glimpse the insight of one as great as Khadgar excites me to no end. I'm going to pick up the Teacher's Sash here.
Honored friend.
This might actually be an upgrade. Yeah, I would consider it. We're losing 4 spirit in the process, but like 9 intellect is, it's a lot. That's a lot of extra stats. So we'll equip that. We'll gain a pretty significant chunk to our mana pool and a tiny bit of health.
You need something?
I've got an alchemy supplier here. Elixir of Demon Slaying costs 90 silver. It says it sells for 10 gold? Increasing the attack power against demons. I don't know what you would use this for. From like a rating perspective. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. I'll pick it up anyway. We'll see if we can see if we can sell it. We're going to pick up these greater mana potions too, because we could actually use them for our own supply. Let's make sure that we don't vendor anything accidentally. And then we will go turn in the lost supplies that we found in the swamp.
Well met. For the Alliance.
Thank you, Alindria. So many supplies are lost from Darkshire to here. It's good to see that some are recovered.
Light bless you.
Gain a little bit of rep with Stormwind. Very tiny amount. Oh. So 2 silver was nothing, but it came with 3 wild steel bloom, which is actually really good. That's like 2 gold. I imagine it's random, like what herbs and minerals you would receive though, so probably not, you know, very consistent in its reward. But alright, very cool. And we can grab our flight path now.
Well met.
And
Safe
I
travels.
think we can call it a day. That'll do it for me for now. Need to figure out what we're going to do in the next episode. I'm still kind of playing it by ear here and there. Razorfen Downs, I would say, is now on the table as our next dungeon. It's pretty much the same as like Cathedral, like on the same level, so I think we're, you know, more than ready for it if we can find a group. If we can't easily find a group though, I'll just start working towards something else. You know, maybe we'll go into Dustwallow and start actually questing there. Or maybe we'll do something else. We'll see. As always, I appreciate you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.